This week on Odyssey Charter News, we will meet with teachers and students from high schools in Wilmington, Delaware to talk about their experiences with community service and the overall benefit of volunteering.
We will also cover the weather for this week.
Good morning, Odyssey Owls. We're the Newsacres. I'm Caroline Campbell.
And I'm Evelyn Gomez, here to bring you this week's Odyssey Charter News.
Starting off, we'll give you an overview of this week's upcoming weather forecast with Kimberly Cabrera.
Let's pass it off to Kim.
Good morning from Odyssey Charter High School. I'm meteorologist Kimberly Cabrera, bringing you this week's weather forecast in Wilmington, Delaware. Starting off our week, Monday morning has a low of 32 degrees. We're seeing a bit of cloudy skies. Later in the afternoon, the temperature is expected to rise to a high of 41 degrees. Get excited because Tuesday is expected to bring us a 90% chance of snow with a low of 21 degrees. Make sure to bundle up. The temperature progressively increases, reaching 28 degrees in the evening. On Wednesday and Thursday, we're seeing a bit of chillier skies in the morning, with Wednesday starting our day off with 24-degree weather, which slowly progresses to its highest of 32 degrees. Thursday is not looking much different from Wednesday, being in the high 20s and 30s. Moving on to Friday, we're looking at partially cloudy skies with a low of 27 degrees. However, the temperature gradually goes up to 40 degrees in the evening. Nothing beats the weekend. We're looking at Saturday's lowest of 25 degrees, which stays sunny, going up to 42 degrees. Sunday's looking quite similar with a high of 35 degrees. That's all for this week, Owls. Hoot hoot!
Thank you, Kim.
Next, brought to you by reporter Alexa Avila, we'll focus on the topic of community service.
We'll further discuss these topics with food studies teacher at Odyssey Charter High School, Melissa Tracy, as well as St. Mark's High School senior Kenny Trujillo.
Thank you, Caroline and Evelyn. Did you know that there's more to community service than just logging your hours? According to Big Future College Board, admissions officers typically look for community service in students' applications to see what they'll bring to the campus besides academics. Participating in service projects can benefit both people in the community and students themselves. They provide students with real-world experiences that can help them develop compassion, creativity, teamwork, leadership, and problem-solving skills. Also, community service projects can help students find passion and interests they didn't previously know about. Speaking about community service projects, this week we have a compelling story about the strides Odyssey Charter School has taken to give back to the community while also providing volunteer opportunities for their students. The Owl Pantry, located in Odyssey Charter School, has been able to provide 100,000 pounds of food to over 330 families since its opening in October of 2024.
Good morning. We're here with Miss Tracy, the food studies teacher at Odyssey Charter High School and the founder of the Owl Food Pantry. We're here to talk to her about her experiences with community service and her food pantry.
The impetus came from students. So years ago, my students did a fairly intense case study of food insecurity in our community at large. And they were the ones that really put into place action items to try to combat that issue. And it started with the garden, then it became the lab, and then around COVID, it became, all right, what are we going to do with all this extra produce? We need to give it back to the community.
Finally, let's look at a student's personal experience of community service with student Candy Trujillo.
My work has ranged from my own community to all over Delaware. Some places I've done work at include the Ronald McDonald House, where I just do various tasks around, and the St. Patrick's Center, where I help give out food to people in need. I think really just going out and asking different places if they need volunteers would be really great. My own personal experience being me going to my church and asking if they needed volunteers and being able to help them out.
Thank you, Ms. Tracy and Candy, for talking with us. Hopefully this inspires teens to give back to their communities. Now, back to Caroline and Evelyn.
Thank you for sharing that captivating story, Alexa.
Thanks for watching. We hope you have a marvelous Monday.
See you next week on Odyssey Charter News.
Hoot hoot!